So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mukesh. I'm a graduate student at UC Berkeley. The topic I'll be talking about today is risk-taking. I chose this topic for two reasons. Firstly, I believe it's not a subject that's covered enough in school. Everyone roughly understands the connection between success and risk, but no school really goes into the subject too much. Number two, I personally have a fear of public speaking, so I decided to do this speech just to take a shot. So the connection between risk and success, I believe we all implicitly understand through empirical observations, meaning we look at successful people, we look at their lives, we read their biographies, and we can see the rough connection between the risks they took and the success they achieved. But when we think too much about our own lives, most of us do not really take the risk and go out into the unknown. Why is that? That's what I want to explain more today. So over here, there are three people. Firstly, we have Dr. Jim Simons, a famous mathematician, Fields Medal winner, and he has also created the most successful hedge fund in history called Renaissance Technology. Dhirubhai Ambani is the second man. He famously went to the Middle East when he was in his early 20s, rejected a promotion over there, came back to India, started a company called Reliance Industries, and is one of the world's largest conglomerates today. Finally, you have Jack Ma, famously rejected by KFC. He worked as a teacher for a while, and in his 30s, he decided to start Alibaba with 20 of his peers, and today is one of the largest tech companies on earth. What binds these three men together that differentiates them as a risk taker and not a simple gambler? A gambler is a person who bets on an outcome he doesn't control. For example, a person who takes out all his life savings and bets on a soccer match, he has no control over the outcome of a soccer match, but yet he does it to achieve some kind of return or failure. But these three guys are different. They face much worse odds than a gambler does, but yet they succeeded anyway. Reason being, two things. One, they had tremendous self-belief. Number two, they had a strong vision for the future. When you come to Dr. Jim Simons, his first love is mathematics. He was a mathematician until 40 years old. And then he abandoned academia because he always had a side interest in trading all along. And he decided one day, why can't I combine these two? Why can't I combine my love for mathematics, my interest in finance? And he pioneered one new field called quantitative investing. And his hedge fund is by far the most successful hedge fund in the history of finance. Dhirubhai Ambani could have easily led a cushy life, after his promotion in Middle East. But he looked back at India, and back then, India didn't have as many tech companies or any companies in general as much as it has today. It was mostly government run. And so he looked at India and thought, why can't there be more large enterprises here? And he went on to create one. Jack Ma looked at Silicon Valley, he saw Google, he saw Facebook, sorry, not Google, this was way long ago. So it's probably more ancient tech companies like Cisco, Amazon, and he looked back at China and thought, why can't China have its own Silicon Valley? And he went on to create Alibaba. All three men had a vision, had a specific vision for the future. The biggest bet they took wasn't on an outcome which wasn't in their control. The biggest bet they took was on their own self, and they went on to create their visions, and they made their visions come true. Now, what can we learn from this? Am I saying that each and every one of us should go into business? No. The equation you should extrapolate from this guy's lives is, they had a desire to do something, and they took action, which then translated into tremendous success. Most of us, I believe, fundamentally, all human beings have two things that bind us all together. One, I believe we all yearn for a better world. Number two, I believe we all want to do good in this world. The reason there's not a better world right now is because most of us are not taking action. And the reason to not take action is also twofold. I believe the largest reason is we fear failure, and we also fail to reject comfort. So when we fear failure, we think, what if we take a shot and we miss and we lose everything we have? And the comfort part is a bit more insidious because most of us end up in cushy lives, especially in Silicon Valley. You get your 500K salary, you get a nice apartment, you get a nice car. Why would you throw that all away and chase a dream? And I think the answer to both these dilemmas lies in the fact that we have to recognize, no matter what religions have to say about this topic, nobody has a strong answer as to what comes after life. We have to recognize that we have to operate under the assumption that this is all we have. The time here in this planet, right here, right now, this is all we got. So the time to take action is also right here, right now. There's nothing else coming after this. And so if we yearn to make a better world right here, we have to take action right now. And thus, because of that, I believe we all have the onus on us to take more risk in this world so that we can hopefully create a better tomorrow. Thank you very much.